Welcome. I don't know if it's a new day for you or it's a continuation for you like it is a continuation for me. I have been on this module called Go to Market, which is what startup founders do after they have assessed an opportunity, done customer discovery, figured the customer value proposition and developed the new product or service or solution. Only when you have a product or a service or a solution can you actually take it to market. So, this module called Go to Market happens after product development has been done. You can start the thinking on go to market in parallel with the new product development. So, while prototyping is happening, you can think about who is the right customer set, how will you reach them, what will be the price, what will be any of the 4 P's which I spoke of in the in 2 lessons back. So, what all will be the features that will offer benefits to customers, which is the product P, how will you price it, what are your considerations, we will speak about that a couple of lessons down the line, what is the messaging or communication you will use and what is the best media channels both from a effectiveness and an efficiency point of view as far as promotion is concerned. And all of this will get detailed. You will also be thinking about where you will be selling your product, what kind of channels will you be using, what kind of salespeople will you be employing, will you have a distributor, wholesaler and a retailer, or you will sell only through online channels which is the D2C model, or you will do the B2C model, or you will do the business to business model. So, I urge you to think about go to market in parallel with developing your product, so that these are not, it is not like it has to be finished before you start this. So, as long as you are clear about who is your customer segment and roughly what are the kind of benefits and features that your product is likely to have, it is good to start thinking about the 4 P's of the marketing mix: product, price, distribution which is place, and advertising and communication which is referred to as promotion. In this lesson, we will learn about how to create differentiation, and differentiation is a term you will hear not just with regard to the products or brands you work on, whether you work in a large organization or you are a co-founder or a founder of a startup and you are wondering how to differentiate your company or how you want to differentiate yourself from the other people who are trying to raise money from the same kind of VCs. So, the term differentiation is very, very critical. Even if you are somebody who is looking for a mainstream job, whether it is in technology or it is in sales or it is in hospitality or any industry that you are interested in, the important thing is standing out. And standing out is important because nobody wants today a run of the mill product. We do not buy similar products. So, let me call them me toos. If they are exactly the same as something I already have, why will I buy it? So, differentiation is very, very important, whether it is for your company, whether it is for yourself amongst your peers, whether it is while you are trying to raise funding or you are working in a large organization and you have products or brands, whether you are on the technology side or you are on the sales and marketing side, creating differentiation is very critical. In this lesson, I am speaking to you about 3 types of differentiation. One is at the product level itself, and the second is at the brand level, and the third is about sales. And the reason I am talking about these 3 is because they fit under this go to market module. There are business system innovations, there are business model innovations that you can do to stand out, and I'll leave that for a module which we will discuss called the business module, business models itself. So, getting directly into the lesson called creating differentiation. So, let me start with the most difficult, and if this is done well, the rest of it is really not needed. If your product is wonderfully differentiated vis-a-vis its competition set, all you have to do in your communication is state the obvious कि बाकियों के पास ये है पर मेरे पास ये है. That's all you need to do. So, if you can manage product differentiation, meaningful product differentiation, everything else falls into place. So, we shall put fight as business people, as sales and marketing people, as entrepreneurs into finding relevant true product differentiation. So, let me tell you at least the concept of it first. Yeah. So, the first question to answer is your product proposition relevant and addresses the most important needs of the consumer? And we say this because without being relevant, differentiation is meaningless. If you are not relevant to your customer, being differentiated is just a nice tag to have. It's like being distinct for the sake of distinctness, not for the sake of meaning. Yeah? So, your first requirement is that your product deliver on the relevant needs that the customer has, and once it has met the relevant need, it can go on to look for differentiation. So, give you some examples, and very often in the world I come from, which is the brand and marketing world, we use a two-word phrase to depict, to explain a differentiated position. So, for example, if we are looking at this word called hospitality, which in Hindi, I love the Hindi words always. The Hindi word for hospitality is khatirdari. So, hospitality in the airline industry, let me use hospitality in the context of the airline industry. So, hospitality is the word that signals relevance, which means that if I am flying long distance or if I am flying within the country, whether it is domestic travel or it is international travel, the minimum expectations of hospitality are my ticketing will be taken care of, my bags will get taken care of, I will get the kind of seating that I had been promised, the flights will be clean, the pilots will be of able capability so that one feels safe flying and so on. All of that is captured in the airline hospitality word. So, here is an airline many years back and continues to do so, which spoke of Oriental hospitality. Oriental, O-R-I-E-N-T-A-L. Oriental hospitality means hospitality of the Eastern world. We are a part of the Eastern world, or most of Asia is the Eastern world, and compared to the Western world, the Easterners, the Asians are warmer in their hospitality. I am not talking about people in their lives with their immediate family members or so on, but Asian people across countries in Asia have a different worldview to being hospitable. Indians go so far as to say Atithi Devo Bhava, which literally means that your guest is like a god. So, that is the spirit with which people from the eastern part of the world view hospitality, and the airline I am talking about is Singapore Airlines, and they brought to the world not efficiency, but care. So, efficiency is probably the hallmark of several Western airlines, which is about being brisk, being correct, giving you the things that you need, but Eastern hospitality went one step further and offered you care, offered you warmth, offered you care, offered you generosity of spirit, all of which are attributed to more Asian cultures than to more Western European American cultures. Yeah? So, the two-word phrase is Oriental hospitality. We will do everything that is to be done as far as hospitality is concerned, which is the relevant part of the proposition, and we will do better because we will bring Oriental, Eastern, Asian hospitality to this airline industry. So, that two words is all that it needed to explain what is it that you are offering to your customer, which is both relevant, very, very relevant. It is part of the basic needs of airline industry, and I will be differentiated through the uniforms. In the Singapore Airlines, uniforms are not pantsuits. They are the Asian clothing. They are colorful. So, a lot of this is to tell you that this is the worldview we come from, and we will treat you like you are a guest in our own home. So, two words, Oriental hospitality, one word hospitality, which is standing for relevance, the other word Oriental, which is standing for differentiation. So, think about any idea that you might have and try and articulate the idea in two words. One perhaps noun, which is hospitality, and one adjective or a word that explains the noun. I will now use another example to make you understand relevance and differentiation using a slightly easier to understand concept. So, here is an example. I am in the market to buy apples because my doctor told me that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So, I am in the market for apples. That is what my doctor has asked me to eat one every day. Okay. So, here are apples. All of these are apples, as you can see. Every apple but one is red in color, the green one. So, everything is parity, relevance. All of these are apples, they meet my need of eating one apple a day. That point of difference of that green apple says, oh, that is nice. Maybe instead of 7 days a week eating the same red apple, maybe 2 days a week I will eat the green apple. Yeah? And maybe the green apple is priced higher, I do not know. But this is a point of parity. Relevance is the same because they are all apples and they serve the need that this customer is looking for, and standing out by being a green apple when the rest of the field is a red apple. Okay. Here is the counterpoint. The counterpoint is an orange. There is one orange in the middle of 4 apples. Yeah? And the doctor told me to eat an apple. I am not looking to eat a fruit. I have been told an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and therefore, this differentiation, which is an orange in the middle of apples, is differentiation without real relevance, because my need is apple. So, orange does not fit into that need. So, this is just probably a cute way of explaining the same thing, which is that you need relevance, which is you have to be in my consideration set, and then you have to stand out. So, when I am booking an airline, you have to make sure your price is competitive. You cannot be priced higher because you are Oriental and whatever. You should be competitive with the rest of the airlines. So, you come into the consideration set of a traveler, and then you say, okay, I offer you more, I offer you different by offering you Oriental Asian hospitality, and maybe over time they have built a price premium based on that service that they are offering. In many other, in some other airlines, they have chosen, for example, both Singapore Airlines and the UAE based Emirates have used great entertainment as their differentiator. So, you have to use, that does not mean that their prices can be significantly higher, no. It does not mean that they can offer less of whatever, less seats or less room or less food, no. You have to match on the hygiene parameters, and you have to offer a delta, or you have to offer an increment, or you have to offer a differentiation on one parameter. And I gave you an example of airlines. And I am trying to give you an example of apples, which is commonplace. So, you need to be relevant first and then you have to be differentiated. So, having accepted that product differentiation is very critical, how do we actually deliver differentiation as far as product is concerned? So, the route to delivering product differentiation is technology, which is whether you are making saris or you are making t-shirt or you are making drones. In all of them, you have to move up this technology ladder from incremental technology to next generation technology. Sometimes radical technologies could be too ahead of its time and therefore not be accepted in its first avatar. On the customer value proposition, a variant is just a red sari versus a blue sari are variants. An improvement is this sari is cotton and it gets crushed. A non-crush cotton sari is an improvement. A new benefit on a sari could be, I don't know, a sari that is already wrapped, and so I do not have to wrap it and take 15 minutes to do this. So, the customer value proposition moves from improvement, which is just a minor improvement, to a completely new benefit and to a new core product itself. So, I know that I had used the soap example earlier and I will repeat it to make it easier to relate to. So, for soaps, a variant can be rose flavor, jasmine flavor, not fragrance, not flavor. So, rose fragrance, mogra fragrance, fragrances of different flowers, orchid fragrance, etc. Those are just variants. There is no big technology in that. That is a base level technology. An improvement in a soap could be the how well it lathers, or it could be how less it gets soft with water and how it retains its shape. So, that could be considered an improvement. A new benefit could be softens while gives you the cleansing. So, it has some moisturizer in it. So, it takes care of your moisturizing need along with the cleaning washing need. For me, a new core product here is not a soap, but a body wash which comes in a liquid format. It is not harmful to skin, it does not have the core soap requirement which makes it harmful to skin. So, that is how the ladder from a different smell to body wash ladders up as far as soaps are concerned. If I go by let us say mobile phones, one improvement that keeps happening in mobile phones is storage and the other is camera. These are improvements. We get better and better pictures and we get more and more storage and the size keeps falling. The new benefit for me as far as taking pictures is concerned, one new benefit that I found was being able to take clear night photography. Every picture looks very good in the daytime, but night pictures were not as good. So, for that was a completely new benefit. The new core product there is today's world is adding AI to the pictures that I take, so that they are looking wonderful no matter how I am looking. So, there is that which is a core product, and each of this has been supported by some amount of next generation and radical technology. So, the only way to deliver product differentiation is by working on technology and making sure you are moving up this ladder from base technology and incremental technology to next generation and to radical technology. So, again I am going to repeat that if you can get product differentiation, meaningful product differentiation, then brand differentiation automatically follows. You do not have to do much on your brand, you just have to state to your customers that this is the absolutely awesome new product that we have, because it has XXX and that delivers to you whatever new benefit that you were looking for. Let me go on and talk to you about brand differentiation. in brand differentiation, we always do this mental math of going from products to brands, and I am going to walk you through each of these because I do not think I have done this in great detail earlier. So, at the outermost, which means the peripheral, the surface layer, customers have functional needs. Their functional needs can be taste, can be price, can be pack size, can be a design, how good the service is, what are the features, etc. And those are delivered by the outer periphery of the product, which is a product feature. For example, the product could be sweet, could be premium, could be compact, easy to use. These are all product features. So, the functional needs of customers vis-a-vis products are delivered by the features that products have. The next level is an identity need, and here we all want to belong in a peer group. The Harley Davidson community I spoke of, or even the I am sure you are part of many WhatsApp groups or Insta or I do not know if Insta has groups as much or just following an influencer, but it is an identity. It essentially says I want to be like that person or I want to be like those people. One of the happiest examples, or not happiest, one of the most memorable examples that I remember of this is a lady in Delhi telling me that her teenage son, when he eats chips, she would call them American chips, when he eats chips, वो बाहर खड़े होके खाता है, मतलब in the balcony, so he is seen by others eating that. But when he is eating Indian snacks, for example, dal mot or whatever, then he stays inside the house and eats it with a spoon and a katori or whatever. So, she was trying to say that that packet of bagged chips is part of his identity. He wants to belong. It is just a cute example to bring alive this point, but we all congregate towards groups that watch the same movies as us, that follow the same music as us, that wear the same clothes as us. We do not identify with other groups. The innermost layer, as you dig deeper from a consumer need point of view, is an emotive need. And here the consumer is looking for brands that will give them the gratification they need or make them come across as the person they would like to be seen as. I wear Nike and it makes me tell the world that I think I can be an athlete, or that I believe that the whole world can be athletic. I use an iPhone because it tells the world that I am very discerning, I am very careful about the products that I am seen with, that I do not want to be seen with run of the mill products and I want to be seen only with premium and classy products, and therefore I use so that is the emotive need that it satisfies. So, the onion or the peeling of the layers starts from a basic not superficial, but at the top of the surface functional need met by product features, identity needs of customers being met by social values offered by brands, and the emotive needs being met by symbology. In the following slide, I am going to show you how this functional need and the innermost needs of consumers, which is emotive needs, are met by brands. So, here is the same layers or peeling of an onion that we have been looking at, and here if you go by the outermost layer, which is, it is not superficial, it is perhaps is the surface level, which is the functional needs that customers have. They are met by product features, and the language here is important. The language here is a language of words, whether it is English, it is Hindi, whatever language is not important, but these are explicit words. This is chocolatey and hence it is tasty. This is rose scented soap which will transform your bathroom into a garden. So, these are explicit conscious language of words. However, the emotive needs and symbology is not explicit, is not stated. It is implicit, it is unconscious, it is subconscious, it is the language of emotions. ये थोड़ा इस कोर्स के बाहर है एक्सप्लेन करना द लैंग्वेज ऑफ इमोशंस, बट आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू अ कपल ऑफ एग्जांपल्स. So, even something like a car, which is I think a purchase of 6 lakhs, 5 lakhs and above today, people are not very rational about their car. So, of course, they will look at mileage and they will look at safety and so on, but they will buy a car that says something about them. So, they will buy a flashy red car if that is. So, sometimes people decide cars, a 5 to 6 lakh rupee purchase on the color, the tint of the color or whatever of the car. So, these are not explicit. So, when consumers talk about, let us say, brands like BMW or Ferrari, they talk about speed. They talk about, in their mind, these cars are always in motion. They are not static in one place. So, the language of symbology or the language of the emotions that people have many dimensions like color, nostalgia, fragrance, taste, flavor, which very often we are not able to describe, and we cannot describe in words. Yeah? So, pictures here speak 1,000 words. So, you find that some of the most luxury brands probably just have the product visual, maybe one model and nothing else really in that piece of communication. Whereas, someone who is trying to sell a mobile phone or is trying to sell a laptop is writing GB, is writing RAM, is writing so many things about the product. So, at a surface level, we are rational beings and we look at the language of words. At an emotional level, we follow emotions and are not able to answer rationally, logically, why did we even make that purchase. This is a slightly deeper concept and therefore, I am going to leave it at here, but suffice it to say that if we have product differentiation, all we need is the explicit language of words and we do not need to go into the language of emotions. The third kind of differentiation I am calling sales or channel or in-store differentiation. If you look at the lady in the picture again, which is from the internet, at a store, she has a pack in her hand and she is definitely studying it. She does not look like she is in any hurry to put that into her bag and keep walking. Yeah? So, this is actually called the first moment of truth. The first moment of truth is when the customer engages with your product, typically at a store. The second moment of truth is when your customer engages with your product while using it. So, if it is a food item while eating, if it is a cleansing item while having a bath or whatever. So, this is the third kind of differentiation that you can deliver in go to market, which is at the store, and together these three differentiations can lead to moats. I already spoke to you about moats. We have to fortify our castle, we have to fortify, we have to defend our fort. And so, what does product differentiation do? It builds a usage moat. People who eat one type of people who use one type of cooking oil will not switch very easily, because they will worry about what if it does not suit my family's physiology and so on. So, one of the most important things to work on is product differentiation, because it creates a usage moat. In digital products, it is even more apparent. We do not switch very easily between apps, because we are used to an app and you can literally know that the 3 steps come at these 3 points, and you are half mindedly and definitely not looking at the phone all the time when you are doing it. Imagine if you had to do a new app and you have to learn that it has actually 8 clicks and not 3. So, the usage moat, which is the moat built by doing product differentiation, is something that sticks. The second one is brand differentiation, and brand differentiation, the moat is in the mind. So, it is called mind share moat. And the third, which I showed you just now, is an in-store differentiation, a channel differentiation, and here there is a shelf share moat. New people can't come and attack you easily if you have a high usage share, if you have high share of mind and you have high share of shelf. And high does not mean 50% or 60%. For your customer you have a high mind share, for your customer you have a high usage share, and for your customer you have a high shelf share. So, these are the 3 GTM differentiations which can help build defenses, which is called a moat. Defenses for your company's castle or your company's fort, and nothing is static. You have to keep building it so that other people, even if they catch up till here, you have moved further on. So, differentiation is the most critical need from a product point of view. If you can do product plus brand plus sales channel, you get all of these kinds of moats. What does differentiation deliver? It helps you own a unique space in the customer's mind. How do you do that? By delivering a unique benefit. By being a personality, the brand has a personality, the brand supports some values, and your customer is interested in these personalities and these values, and your brand stands for a purpose, like the Dove brand stands for stop the beauty test, yeah, or beauty for all, or real beauty, or beauty without artifice. All these are words that I have heard being used in the context of the Dove brand. I am going to double click on some of these, and I have actually used the word double click. It's one of the words that I really enjoy using, because it says that this is how, and if I double click on it, I will get more of it. So, the sharper you are, oriental hospitality, that is sharp. The simple you are, the ability for your people along the sales team or wherever to be able to deliver on that sharpness. Do not emphasize similarities, emphasize the differences. Stay consistent, stay authentic. All these are ways of owning a unique space in the consumer's mind. Consumers do not give you their mind space because you beamed some ads at them. Consumers give you space in their mind because your product delivers to the branding that you have done, and it is something that your consumer is grateful for or is loyal to. So, this is the lesson that I had put together about differentiation. First you have to be relevant, then you must be differentiated, you must have a meaningful differentiation, preferably through product or through a combination of product and brand and in-store. Together these will help your company build defenses for itself. Even if you have built a defense today, kal ko koi aayega, they will have the same features or benefits that you offer. You have to keep innovating, you have to keep using technology to move farther and farther away. Running a company is not easy. You have to be constantly on your toes and trying to keep the gap versus the next person, next competitor larger and larger. So, this is about differentiation. In the next lesson, I will share with you an example of a differentiated iconic brand. It is a case study that I will share with you. Thank you.